How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? And you know what, to all you people on social media, in YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and whatever I'm plugged into, you know what I my objective for this 45 minutes that I am allotted is I'm making a mic check and I'm checking my equipment. And you know what? For YouTubers out there, what I'm requesting, I'm asking humbly if you will give me some type of feedback, okay? Because looking at my, about my lighting system and about my sound system and my telephone, okay? Because we're gonna start doing more lives for people out there that do live streams. They understand that you have to test your equipment out to make sure that it is functioning properly. And I I can see one thing I noticed that my light needs to be a little closer. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust it. But what I'm looking for feedback. I'm looking for people that are in the YouTube community, okay, Facebook, Twitter, and all these social media platforms to give me some assistance by giving me a telephone call because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to test my equipment to make sure that once I get off into these interviews that you know what that it is proficient, not proficient, that I am proficient at doing a good job to um, that out. Okay, and I'm testing it right now, and I can see that you know what, there are adjustments that do need to be made with my light. I'm gonna say my lighting system. Okay, but you know what? YouTube is a great platform to disseminate information. Okay, it's a great platform to disseminate information. But you know what? And you know what? That's not to say that there are other social media platforms out there that you can utilize. But like Facebook is good too. But what I'm doing is I'm testing my systems. And you know what, I ask for people to call 312-884-9757 to, give me an idea what I mean, how does it sound? And like I said, I know by looking at it my own by looking at all of this that I do need a better lighting system. And you know what? I wonder is because you know what? I probably don't, because I don't have a salt box. And I think that probably will be and probably end up being probably my next investment to get a salt box. But I actually think if everything is set up properly, you really don't need a salt box. It's called three light. What's a three? You need three lights. You need a headlight. What's the other one? It's three lights that you need. Okay. And the thing is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably invest in an overhead light, but I don't know if that will compensate. But you know what? But if you have a YouTube platform or a social media platform, I would love for you to come on to tell us about your YouTube platform. And how do we find you? And how did you get what made you think about getting into this platform? Are you into the YouTube and social media and Instagram? Are you in these platform forms to grow? Okay. Or or is it just a hobby? Okay. And if it's a hobby, if it's is it something that you want to excel at to be better and better and better than what you're doing? And your YouTube channel. You know what? You know what? I'm interested in knowing what made you come up with a YouTube platform. What influenced you? You know what was it about it that you liked and you say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. So that's what I'm doing. I'm right now I'm testing my phone lines. I'm looking at my lighting system because and by the way, you know what? I am will be looking for guests to talk about sanctuary cities. In places like Chicago, New York, and California, and plus I can list more cities than that. But the thing is, I'm testing out my platform right now as I'm talking to you. And like I said, I am attempting to make a better platform. But you know what? But an individual cannot see their platform like you can see it because you know what? I want to make good shows where there's one person watching. There's nobody watching because we know that these shows would be archived, and even if your YouTube channel is deleted by that platform or you delete it by mistake, someone has downloaded. Someone, it's a possibility that somebody has downloaded this information, this imagery, and I'm very interested. How you know what? I'm interested in knowing how did you get into YouTube? How? What persuaded you to say, you know what? Say there are people out here with like a million, million, million people that look at their shows on a regular basis. How and you know what? I would like to know what is the formula to you know what is what is the formula to having a good YouTube platform. Okay. I'm told by sitting down and reading the descriptions about YouTube. First of all, what is important is your delivery of how you deliver. And you know what? You should sound natural. You know what? You should not try to pretend to be something that you're not. Like me coming on, this is Clifton Raheem Bradley. And you know what? Me trying to come on and make a persona. I think that it is better to be natural. And it's like in life, when you go around people and you often try to pretend to be something that you're not, you know what? It is recognizable. You know, as they say in my neighborhood, game knows game. So I think that is one of the things. And I'm going to go over my list and I look at it, they said one thing that you must do when you make a YouTube video, even before you make the video, you should sit down and you should consciously think this process out and think, damn, where's my thumbnail? What is my thumbnail? You know what is a thumbnail? Okay. A thumbnail is the first picture, an illustration that you see. Okay. Like if you see illustration of somebody having a platform that's talking about dogs, okay, and they do a video, okay, so they should have a picture of a beautiful dog, okay, possibly walking or something like that. If you about skyscrapers, I'm talking about this is the first image that the individual sees. That you make your first impression by having a good thumbnail. The thumbnail is the picture that you're going to put in for the introduction of your video. Okay. And I would say that's very important. I would say, you know what, but before I sit down and did research, this is something that I never really gave thought to. I didn't think about it. And by the way, you know what? I'm testing my telephone. And thing is, if you would call us 312 I really would appreciate it because I'm testing my phone line. I'm testing my equipment because I'm going to be doing more videos, but and live streams. And then the other thing is, I didn't even notice that I had my keys showing. But that has nothing to do with the delivery. Okay. And then the other thing is you must have a good description. You must have a good description. A description is what the overall body of what you're going to be talking about. Okay. In the content that you are getting ready to produce. Okay. And Lord knows I made a ton of mistakes, ton of mistakes. And you know what? I just wrote just to write down just a few things. But I think that you know what? I think by observing that you should make it short and precise and get to the point. Okay. Because there are people, and now I'm guilty of this. And let me ask you something. In terms of your description, first of all, do you think that it matters how your thumbnail looks? Do you think it matters? Okay. Do you think it really makes a difference? Okay. But by reading and doing research, it makes a difference. And do you think that the description, should it be short and concise, meaning get to the point, or should it be long and drawn out? Okay. But what do you think? Are your descriptions usually long? Are they usually short? You know, and I think by sitting down and doing research and learning, I'm gonna say by trial and error, that your description should be short and to the point. And I don't think that the average person is going to actually read the information. I don't think that the average person is just going to read the information. I don't believe that. I'm talking about the average person. They're not going to read all of that information. They're just not. And you know what? I would say I read it sometimes, but I would say the average person. So I think that this is a formula to make a good presentation and to make good content by using these two formulas. That's- And you know what? I'm astonished, and I do it anyway. Tags, and then putting tags in that is related to your content after you put in a description. You should. You know what? A lot of people say that the tags are important. The tags are important. But you have you have places where you can get tags. The tags give like a word of, like, if I'm talking about a dog, I'm talking about a cat. Okay. I might put a litter box. Okay, it's a tag. Okay. I might put cat food. Okay. Then what these tags do is they help people to be able to find your content. But I believe that that is almost obsolete, because when I read, it said tags play a minor point in getting more people to look at the content that you produce. So I think I'm starting to believe that it is minor, because there are individuals out there that go out there and buy programs, okay, to get tags, okay, depending on their ranking. But the thing is, it says in YouTube's description, the tags play a minimum role. Okay. I'm gonna try to bring that up, so you know what somebody said. You don't know what you're talking about tags, but it says that tags play a minimum role in play a minimum role when it comes to content. And it says if you're going to use tags, say that it is better to misspell a tag. But you know what? I read it. I did read it, and you know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring that up. You know what? If time allows me and nothing happens, and you know what? I'm bringing it up to raise a point, and I'm going to put that on screen right now. Okay, about tags. Tags give you the description about, okay, and this is what it says about tags. Okay, hope that's large enough for you. Okay, we say tags are descriptions and keywords you can add to your video to help viewers find your content. Okay. The video's title, which I say, that is important, the title. Agree with that. You know what? Because there are videos that I would not have looked at under normal circumstances because of the title. You know what? And the thumbnail, of which I just got through discussing, that is important. The thumbnail is the first picture that they see. I'm talking about when they come to your video. It's the first picture that you. It's just like a frame. It's like framework, okay, and it's like the first thing they see. Okay, so the thumbnail and the descriptions are more important pieces of mega data, okay, for your video discovery. These main pieces of information help viewers to decide whether to watch your video. I would agree with that. Okay. Now, this is the part that I think is just hard for people to believe. But you know what? Not I'm a great researcher, but I'm reading it. I'm reading this to you from YouTube information about tags. You say tags can be useful if the content of your video is commonly misspelled. Okay, so in other words, if I'm talking about cat, CAG. I know it's CAT. It you know what? It's just minimum, but it says in the YouTube bylaws, not bylaws. information about tags. It said um, tags can be useful if the content in the video is commonly misspelled. Misspell it. Okay, these are not my words. Okay, this is written in stone. Okay, by YouTube. It plays, and also tags play a minimum. Minimum mean not much role in your video's discovery. Okay. So I think for me, I think the tags I think they're overrated. That's what I believe. Hey, tags are overrated. That's what I believe. And the thing is, but you usually see that people try to get they write tags, but the thing is they do the proper spelling, and I'm guilty of it. And what I'm going to do is what I showed you about YouTube. The thing is, there are people that go out and use a program called vidIQ. Okay. And Tool Buddy, okay. Tool Buddy. These are programs that are used by a whole lot of YouTubers to make tags. Okay. And I'm gonna say keywords. I can't say keywords because you're writing down a description of what you're doing, but tags that are highly rated. But it says in the YouTube outline that tags play a minimum role in getting viewers. It's important that you know what that like I say, you want to use vidIQ or you want to use Tool Buddy or something like that, go ahead and use it because it says minimum. So I mean, when it says minimum, it's giving help, but the it's not really that much. So that's what I would say about Tool Buddy, and I would say about vidIQ and other things like that. But it's your money; you have a right to spend it the way you want to, but all I'm doing is just sharing information. That's all I'm doing. I'm just sharing information. And by the way, please, you know what? For people that are looking at this on social media, I'm asking. What I'm doing is I'm testing my phone line. Okay, because what happened is I'm going to be doing more shows, and what is my show about? We talk about New World Order. We talk about community. We talk about politics. We talk about government. So my niche basically is the news. And you know what? I like to keep up with current events. And I love looking at the news. So, and the thing is, it gives me just a different view, a cosmopolitan view of the world. And it gives me the ability also, when I'm not doing this, to sit down and hold a conversation of substance, not just talking about dancing and all that. But I have had entertainers on. Okay, I'm not saying like a Denzel Washington or a Holly Berry, okay, a Dolly Parton, but I have had individuals, um, like people that have talent come on and community activists, and I'm looking for guests right now that understand AI technology and how it has inundated our society, and they will have a huge influence on our society from virtual reality, okay, from chat to individuals starting to have relationships with avatars that they create on their telephone and their computers. Okay, and there are people doing it, and I would say that they're doing it out of loneliness because you know what? Once this pandemic, when a pandemic occurred, it isolated a whole lot of people, and you know what? Some people didn't come out of it. They didn't come out of it. I'm talking about the way they before they went in. They may have been, no, you know what? No, it was a normal relationships, but I'll say I believe that the dynamics of relationships they're going to change. They're going to change. And you know what? This thing I saw on the news, the thing I read about in the news, it's astonishing to me. It said they're robots. China. Okay, but I might be able to pull it up. China is going to come out with a robot that will be able to carry a baby, the zygote stage, uh, the fetus through a zygote stage, and all of the stages of pregnancy. And you know what? So actually, they're going to be in the future. They're going to be people that have children, and their mother is going to be a robot. Okay, you know what? When I looked at the article, I just couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. I read it, but but in reality, they have been dealing. They have been trying to perfect growing babies in artificial wombs for years. You know what? Apparently, this robot company in China has perfected that. Like I said, China is way ahead of us from what I can understand in robotics, in humanoids, because they just had a humanoid, a robot Olympics, okay, where they displayed how the robot runs and all this. And you know what? The United States is behind. They are behind. But we have some hope because you know what? There are prototypes. There are prototypes of robots that will be able to do what the Chinese robots, foreign robots will do. There's a robot made by Tesla. Okay. And I forgot what the name of, but I know it's optimal. I think so, but it's made by Tesla. And there's a German, I think, company that is making robot called Neo. Okay. And with Neo, what it is you will be able to have you know what, if you have the capital, you'll be able to have a robot inside of your home, cooking for you, cleaning for you, okay, reminding you to take your medicine and doing all type of things, washing your car. I think it would even, you know what? I think Elon Musk said at some point there would be more robots or humanoids in the society than there are people. And you know what? That is something that I should have invested in. I should have, but it's still not too late. But I should have invested in something like Tesla. Okay, when it and actually, I don't know even know if that is on the stock market right now to invest in Tesla when it comes to robotics and Neo. Okay, and these robots are just fantastic. But the thing is, it's kind of scary. It's not scary. Okay, I'm gonna say that it's different. What it is it's just gonna be so many of them, and it's like these robots are humanoids. I believe that they're going to change the dynamics of relationships. At some point, it's going to become normalized to see somebody with a robot. And the thing is, I think that the individual that will enjoy being with the robot opposed to people, I think that will increase. over time. You say, why? 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 I think because when you have a device that is like a human being, a man or a woman, something like that, and they start to react like women, and it is learning by the algorithms, and what it is, it's learning what you like and what you don't like. It's learning when your birthday is. It's learning that you like your coffee this way. And a human being is going to forget. But the thing is, I think that you know what? Because that robot or humanoid is learning what you like, okay, that sends a message to your endorphin levels, okay, in your mind, and you start to enjoy them. Okay. And the human being is just going to disappoint the human being is going to disappoint you. No human being is going to live up to all of your expectations. Okay. So I think that there will at some point there will be more people engaged in relationships with robots that believe there are people like Facebook, for example, Apple. They have goggles that you put over your eyes. You go to a virtual reality world. I think that there will be people that will be racing home from work to get to these glasses to put on to go to a virtual reality world to escape the hell of this world. And from what I'm understanding is I think at some point individuals will be able to go into these worlds or their rooms, they will be able to smell certain things that they run into. And you know what? And it's like reality. And you know what? It's almost like Terminator. And the thing is, I saw something where they designed a suit. Okay, they designed a suit that will stimulate when you see things with your mind, whereas eating cake in virtual reality, it would be like you're stimulating your mind with the suit on. But I think at some point, like Star Trek, okay, the next generation, it will be a hollow deck. Okay, where you will be able to walk in and actually believe, like I want to go to Egypt. Okay, I will believe that I'm in Egypt because that room will transform into what I want, and even to the point to where it will start to smell. Like if I walk past somebody cooking in a virtual reality world, I will be able to smell it. Okay, and it will send a message to my mind, and what at some point it will become a normalization because there are individuals that what I've seen that have families online. There's a lady that is married to a avatar. So you know what she was asked the question: what if a real human being wanted to marry you? And I was flabbergasted by the answer. And she said she made the statement, I'm already married. I'm talking about to her avatar that was created with the specifications of what she liked and didn't like. She said that I am already married. So why would I get married again? I was like, wow. You know what? A lady created an avatar of her son because that was her only child. Online, and what she had the image of whatever she thought her son should be, and she created that. So I think that we're in for some times. But it's a danger to a certain extent because if these humanoids or robots are learning from the algorithms what we like and what we don't like. What's to say if I have a lady robot, android, she say, you know what, Raheem, I'm mopping the floor. Why don't you get Zorax? Because you know what, I think that that works a little better than Clorox. So marketers will be able to utilize that information to sell things, but maybe not in an obvious way. It may be done overtly, just a suggestion. Uh, overtly where it says go out there and buy the product. I may be covertly making a suggestion. Wow, this product is not working like it used to. Why don't you buy this? You know what, saying that you know what that Chevy car that we're driving in, I noticed by looking at the statistics and analyzing everything, when you're thinking about getting an automobile, you should get that Toyota. And you know what? So you will, so at some point you become so dependent and you start to look at that robot, a humanoid, as a person. You won't even have the ability to differentiate at some point. And you say, you know what? I'm gonna say Wilma because I love the Flintstones. Okay, that's a cartoon. Say, you know what, Wilma? It's Wilma and Betty and Fred Flintstone. I would love Wilma. I'm talking about it's a cartoon. Okay, none of that crazy stuff. But the thing is, I would say, okay, Wilma, you know what? I think that that's a good idea. I think that that's, you know what? I think that you're right. And then what happened is you go down to the Toyota shop. A Toyota sales. I ordered online. Okay, go get you a Toyota because Toyota has purchased that mega data. Okay, but it's to not overtly make you say go to Toyota, but covertly convincing you because you will start to look at that humanoid, that robot that's shaped like a man or a woman. Really is being your friend, your girlfriend, or your husband or your wife or your boyfriend. You will, and you start to confide in it. But the thing is, I think a lot of people they won't will not be concerned with the information that mega data that is being taken in by this robot or humanoid can be utilized by marketers to their advantage. They will not be able to. You won't be able to differentiate because what happened is you know what it's learning by your algorithms, and plus when it starts to become normalized and it's telling you what you like and what you don't like, it's stimulating something within your mind. Okay, the cerebral cortex. But I'm no scientist. Okay, are you and raising up your endorphin levels? The way you know what this, you start to love it. You start to trust it. You start to confide in it. But it's being controlled. And if they bring down the robots and the humanoids enough where the average person can afford it, you what you're doing is you're giving that company that produce Neo, a Tesla, Optimal, a Atlas, you're giving them a key inside your house. You're actually giving them a key. You know, with a brother, Islam brother, he told me, he said, that's what you're doing. You're giving them a key inside your house. And that's the same thing with the mega universe. Like I said, there are people with, like I say, Meta and Facebook. There'll be other companies beyond this. And like I said, you can use this later on in the future for a case study to see what we were talking about in year 2025. And convince you to get the flying car. Don't don't get the Ford flying car. Get the Toyota. I keep on saying Toyota, I guess, because I love Toyota. And we're gonna get the Toyota flying car. Okay, we're gonna get spick and span, but we're not gonna get pine saw. You know what? That's used to clean the floors in your house. But by the end, you probably won't even be mopping because the humanoid or the robot that you have will be doing that for you. I'm gonna tell you something. You know what? I'm gonna look forward to it because you know what? Because I think there's good that comes out of it because there are older people. There are older people, okay, that do not have anybody to care for them at all. Okay. And there's some people that should have people to care for them and their family, but you know what? They about something they did or something relation broken up, somebody to remind you to take your medication, somebody to remind you to wake up and all this, and someone to help you out of the bathtub if you fall, to help you if you forget something, and help you if you become bedridden where you might not have to even go to a nursing home no more. So I think that there are tremendous benefits to the humanoid neo ancestor. There are tremendous benefits, you know, tremendous. But I just think that it's going to change. It's going to change the dynamics of a whole lot of things. But you know what? King Arthur said, the Malachi, he said, all things change. All things change. Malachi. But all things change because you know what? Have to push forward because you know what? There was the industrial age. And you know what? There was a time we used to be on a horse and wagon for transport. We don't for going to place to place. Now we don't have to do that. Now at some point we'll be able to we'll be able to get on spaceships and flying cars and go to Mars and beyond Mars and Venus, planets that you can go on. I don't think you can go on Venus, but I'm just saying you'll be able to take vacations to different planets and different solar systems. And you know what? All things change. All things change. So, this, you know what? It's been interesting. Nobody called, but it's okay. You know what? Because all things work together for the good. You know what? Because I'm gonna tell you something. When I started out YouTube, I could say it was a lot of failure. But you know what? I have I heard one of my Islam brothers say one thing. You you learn from your successes, but you learn more from your failures and your stumbling blocks. And in the Matter of Minister Ben Willis on YouTube. And you know what? He has a YouTube show, and I would concur that I have learned more from my failures than I have from my successes. And my failures have helped to make me who you are. I mean, you're looking at something that took me a long time to learn how to do that possibly take somebody else a couple seconds. But you know what? But everybody learns at a different rate. No two people are the same. But my failures have made me better. And the people that have put me down and people that say that you ain't no good and you know what, man, you weak. You know what? They've helped me. They helped to build me to make me a better Clifton Raheem Bradley. So, and the thing is, if I had a low self esteem, which I did at one point, it helped me to grow. You know what? So they gave me some tough love, but it wasn't no love. I think it was tough hate. But actually, when you treat somebody like that, you have to sit down and take a cross examination of yourself. I was told mother by my mother, you put somebody else down. Actually, you're the small one. So I know this now, but I didn't know it then. So you know what? I think I'm just going to end this. And you know what? Maybe people will look at it on YouTube. I know that it's titled Call and Nobody Called 312-884-9757. But hope somebody sees this and maybe they can edit it. You can reuse it. And you know what? It can help somebody else. don't don't listen to the naysayers. Okay. Don't listen to the people that try to put you down and try to destroy you and try to belittle them. And you know what? If you do take it and use that energy, but turn around and use it in a positive way. You know, you're somebody, even if they don't think so. And if they don't want to come to your party, that's okay. Don't let them stop you from setting up your party and coming to your party. Even if you got to be there all alone, don't let anybody destroy your happiness. And when you find people like that, try to get away from them. Try to be around people that are giving positive energy, but by no means does that mean that you cannot take constructive criticism, because you do, in fact, you do need some constructive criticism. It helps you to grow. I've learned more from my detractors than the individuals that were clapping me on. I've learned more from and it's helped to, but it's helped me to build my character and my resilience and to become stronger. All those that did this for me, thank you. But you helped to make me a stronger individual. But you perceive not, because you was trying to destroy and you was trying to make that individual feel smaller. But reality is you're the small one. You're the small one. But I get it though. So this is Clifton Raheem Bradley out of the United States of America in Chicago, Illinois, year 2025. And I will be looking for guests to talk about Sanctuary City in Chicago, New York, and California, and robotics, and also talk about global issues like what's going on in Palestine, the Ukraine, and Russia, and China. Will China invade Taiwan? I don't think they will, but because they will just always look at themselves as being unified and look at Central America. So this is the Underground Railroad podcast, and we also come on Buzzsprout. Okay, so I'm looking for guests. So like I said, I want to thank you. I guess you know what? Since I enjoy talking, you know, I probably will do another one, inshallah. If it's the will of Allah, probably later on tonight. I'm gonna sit back and look at this, but I know that there are things that I need to straighten out about my platform, and I want to thank you. You know what? If you liked it, a thumbs up, a thumbs down. If you hated it, put it down. But you know what? That's gonna help me. And put a comment in there why you didn't like it, you did like it. What do I need to improve on? But I know one thing I need to prove on is just building up an audience. And the thing is, I don't know if I don't know if I could do it a consistent time and a consistent day. I had to do it sporadically. Sporadically means who you know what it might be done on Monday, it might be done on Tuesday, but I think it's better to have a specific day. Okay, maybe I better do my homework on that and come up with a specific. So leave you in the words of Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings be upon you. And may there be peace in Israel and Palestine. May they subside from the conflict that is going on and come to a resolution. And may China stop persecuting Muslims in China and holding them in detention camps for their beliefs in Allah and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you know what? Islam is not a evil religion. It's not. You know what? But people they know what the leadership in China apparently they think not. So that's all I can say. I don't know where that came from, but you know what? I just felt the need to say that. Okay. So Saudi Arabia, hey, it's interesting. And hey, by the way, in New York, they got a guy. I think it's Ceremony. I forgot his name. He's running for mayor of New York. You know what? Islamic Masjid in Chicago say he's a good man. And people that are seeing this in New York go out there and support this man. I think he's socialist or something like he has socialist thoughts. But my Islamic Masjid said that he is a good man for people that and socialism mean you want to want to commit instead of a big corporation owning a grocery store. Okay, the people in the community own a grocery store instead of big corporation owning a filling station. The community owns a filling station. So this is what I was told with my Islamic masjid that I go to, that he is a good man. So people that live in New York, go out there and support this man that's running for mayor. And I know I said his name wrong, but he's a socialist. But support him because my Islamic Masjid say that he is a good man, from what I understand, in New York in year 2025. So no matter how the Fox Television demonize him and other people, probably is, from what my Islamic Masjid say, he is a man of the people for the individual that's running for mayor in New York. But only Allah God know how this gonna turn out. Okay? Okay, assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi barakatuh.